afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
I don't like Tuesdays.
Feels like Wednesday, then you get bummed out because it's not there yet.
Yeah, lots going on today, so let's get started. Typing our news today, we heard from President Biden about the war in Israel. 14 Americans have been confirmed dead.
The fight over who should be Speaker of the House continues. Republicans met behind closed doors today. So what is the timeline right now?
And have you ever just mowed your leaves instead of raking them? Well, you're in luck. Madison says that's okay. Well, mulch. Let's take a look outside the Arch to Camp Randall on this Wednesday. Frosty, the weather words. Jacob's in the backyard. It could cool off tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see another night where temperatures are expected to drop into the 30s. But I have to say, right now, it feels pretty comfortable. You know, we're getting to the point where we're sort of getting used to these temperatures. So now when temperatures are in the upper 50s, it isn't that bad at all. So looking at the current temperatures across Dane County, 57 in Madison, 60 in Middleton. A few other spots in Dane County are in the lower 60s. And in general, we're seeing temperatures not too bad, especially compared to the last couple of days. Looking at the winds, also seeing some pretty calm winds, maxing out at around 10, some places up to 15 miles per hour. But once again, the winds are a bit better and the temperatures are a bit better than what they were the last couple of days. Now, I want to show you the visible cloud track. We're seeing clear skies to the southwest of our area, but there is a lot of cloud cover to the north and east. And because of that cloud cover, there's not going to be as much of a frost concern to the north and east of Madison, but south central and southwestern Wisconsin are under a frost advisory again tonight from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. because those temperatures are going to drop into the 30s once again, with some areas possibly dropping to freezing. But we are going to see the temperatures, at least the overnight lows, warm up for the end of the week as quite a bit of rain will move into our area. I'll take you through the timing of the rainfall coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, we'll check back. Thank you. The death toll in the fighting between Israel and Hamas has climbed to at least 1,600, but another day of relentless airstrikes is expected to push that number higher.
At least 14 Americans are among the dead. Israel is carrying out punishing airstrikes in Gaza as its Iron Dome intercepts incoming missiles from Hamas. The Israeli military says the air assaults are designed to cause maximum destruction in areas where it says Hamas terrorists congregate. Hundreds of targets were hit in Hamas's stronghold. Even Gaza's main port was struck. Speaking at the White House today, President Biden reiterated U.S. support for Israel.
We'll make sure the Jewish and democratic state of Israel can defend itself today, tomorrow, as we always have.
The U.S. is sending additional military assistance, including ammunition and missile interceptors. It's also sharing intelligence to help hostage recovery. Americans are among the captives. Along with the flight suspensions, cruise liners are adjusting itineraries in the area. FedEx stopped deliveries in Israel, and many fashion retail stores are temporarily closed.
With the ongoing war in Gaza and Israel, coverage of the topic will be in the headlines for the foreseeable future.
And where you get your information during this time period is important. Our Jalen Banks joins us now with tips on how you can make sure you're looking at trustworthy news sources.
I had the opportunity this afternoon to catch up with Alex Mahadavan of the Poynter Institute, the organization that guides many of the ethics we follow as journalists. He shared with me as we sift through mis and disinformation you might want to see online right now. 3 key points he made to be mindful of: who is behind the information, what is the evidence, and what do other sources say? When it comes to who is behind the information, search the individual or organization that put out a story, video, or image. With evidence, reverse search pictures and videos through Google Images. And when checking other sources, along with your local national U.S.-based coverage, find fact checkers and other news organizations within the region the war is happening.
When you come across an article at a news organization, make sure you are reading a straight news story and not an opinion piece. You're going to see a lot of opinion news articles. You're going to see a lot of opinion pieces coming out from everywhere from the New York Times, the Washington Post, to The Economist, to the BBC. And those are not straight news stories. Those are, by their nature, filled with bias.
Another key point to be mindful of is when receiving news coverage on social media to be even more cautious, because a lot of social media websites have pulled back the usual protections that were in place to flag mis and disinformation.
Good information. Thank you, Jalen. House GOP members are eager to avoid a drawn-out spectacle like this past January when it took 15 votes to elect Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House.
So they're holding a series of closed-door meetings tonight and tomorrow morning, hoping to come to an agreement among themselves on who should be the next Speaker of the House before taking the nominations to the floor for a public vote.
But as Michael George reports, they are having a hard time uniting behind one person. Their indecisiveness could slow down more military support for Israel.
House Republicans are meeting behind closed doors, hoping to unify behind one candidate for Speaker of the House in order to avoid a repeat of January, when it took 15 votes on the House floor to elect Kevin McCarthy.
I think we're going to do this within the Republican family behind closed doors because, quite frankly, I don't want to repeat what we did on the floor with multiple candidates, and neither did the candidates that are up.
Majority Leaders Steve Scalise of Louisiana and Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan are the leading contenders, making their pitch to Republican colleagues. But neither have the support of the majority, raising concerns that this could be a protracted battle.
There's going to have to be a real reckoning within the conference here about the path forward.
The House can't vote on any legislation until a speaker is elected. Lawmakers can't even put out a resolution officially denouncing the war in Israel.
We've got to get back on track. This is a dangerous world right now. Let me say it again. We stand strongly with Israel. The House needs to get back to work.
President Biden is calling on Congress to pass a bill sending more weapons to Israel to use in its war against Hamas.
We're going to ask them to take urgent action to fund the national security requirements of our critical partners. This is not about party or politics. This is about the security of our world.
The White House may also try to include aid for Ukraine in a bill providing aid for Israel. While there is broad support within the House Republican caucus to support Israel, there's a growing list of GOP members opposed to spending more money on the war in Ukraine. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And congressmen received a secure briefing about the war in Israel this afternoon ahead of the GOP House Republican meeting to talk about the Speaker election.
The state legislature should not impeach. That is the opinion of a retired conservative justice.
He is among a secret panel looking into whether a Wisconsin Supreme Court justice should be impeached for comments she made on the campaign trail. Political reporter Will Keneally has more live from the Capitol. Will?
Well, Mark and Susan, there's an appetite among some Republicans to get rid of that newly elected state Supreme Court justice, the justice who flipped the balance of the court for the liberals for the first time in more than a decade just this year. Now, she's called the state's legislative districts quote-unquote rigged, echoing concerns from advocates that the current maps unfairly give Republicans more power than voters intend. Now, there's a lawsuit challenging those maps right now, and some Republicans want her to be impeached if she does not step aside for that lawsuit. Now, a legal scholar that we spoke to says, however, that there are some instances when a judge will have a policy opinion, but they ignore those when deciding a case. He used the U.S. Supreme Court and Chief Justice John Roberts as an example.
Chief Justice Roberts expressed the view that gerrymandering was a threat to democracy. He himself said, when looking at these maps that were brought to him from other states, he said, these are rigged, but I don't have a remedy for you at law. There isn't a constitutional principle that I can apply here.
Now, he says that judges may have to rule against what they believe because the law makes them do so. And as we look forward to the prospect of impeachment here in Wisconsin, that retired conservative judge says that impeaching this newly liberal justice could erode some trust in the system. And we'll have more on these impacts coming up tonight at 5. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Well, thank you. Members of a Milwaukee nonprofit are urging the Wisconsin legislature to address what they call a deteriorating situation in Wisconsin prisons. Eugene Nelson is the vice president of the board of directors for Prison Action Milwaukee and went through what they want from Governor Evers and the legislature.
Limited periods of modified movement to no longer than 2 weeks. Provide all DOC residents with at least 3 showers per week. Allow DOC residents at least 1 hour out of their cells daily for recreation activities.
The group also circulated a petition to sign demanding the Department of Corrections adopt changes requiring them to improve the availability and delivery of re-entry programming at all of its prisons. Well, there's some development in DeForest that's planned to bring all sorts of family fun to the ice, both indoors and out.
This will be south of Highway 19 and east of Highway 51 near DeForest.
Our Catherine Merck visited the area today.
After people told the village of DeForest that there needed to be an ice rink in this area, the plot of land that's behind me is going to get a big upgrade in the coming months.
You know, this area has always, I think, everyone drives past it every day, and I think, you know, whether you're from Sun Prairie or Wanakee or coming up from Madison, but you know, it's kind of prime for growth in that area.
Village Administrator Bill Chang showed me the plans for the project. It includes an indoor and outdoor ice rink, a brewery, and a space for apartments, part of a $75 million investment.
This will add, you know, not only the ice rink features, but jobs to the area, places to visit, and, you know, keep your kids busy.
This development is still in its early stages, and those behind it tell me there's meetings in the coming weeks and months to finalize the plans you just saw. Reporting in DeForest, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Catherine. Well, fall is officially here, and despite the season, the city of Madison doesn't want you to rake your leaves this season if you don't want to. You heard that right. If you wanted an excuse to just mow all of those leaves away with your lawnmower, the city of Madison is telling you to do just that. Mulching your leaves right in place by mowing them into your lawn is a great way to keep leaves from going into the streets.
And then you can use the energy that you would have spent raking your lawn to rake the leaves out of the gutter and the curb back up onto the terrace so they don't go into our lakes.
The city doesn't want the leaves to get into the sewers because the nutrients in the leaves can leach out into the lakes when rained on. This contributes to the phosphorus problem that the lakes continue to fight.
It's free fertilizer.
Yeah,
just
sure.
mulch it into the lawn. There you go. You have the mayor's permission. Broadway comes to Madison again this week.
Aladdin is in town. We'll meet one of the performers who calls Beloit home. That's when Live at 4 continues.
11% off everything at Menards. Sylvania's two-wave LED bulbs provide the closest lighting to natural sunlight and make colors more vivid. Receive $10 instant savings with a purchase of $40 or more on Sylvania two-wave LED bulbs. Latitude Luxury Vinyl Plank from Shaw is the perfect choice to bring the style you want and performance you need. It's durable, waterproof, and easy to install. Just $2.99 a square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
At Lawton Cates, we connect you with top medical specialists after a serious injury. We hold the insurance company responsible for your lost wages and hospital bills, and we won't accept anything less than what you deserve. Your life counts. Lawton Cates.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light that makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at gawon'twait.com.
Watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. Believe it or not, after this week's upcoming game against Iowa, the Badger football season will be half over.
That is crazy to think about, isn't it? It's going by too fast. But first, they have to take on the Hawkeyes. Star running back Braylon Allen sat down with sports director Zach Hanley last night for this week's edition of the Wisconsin Huddle. This week, the opponent is one the Badgers know well, and this will be the 97th time that Iowa and Wisconsin have faced each other on the gridiron. Allen is looking forward to facing the Hawkeyes this year after the Badgers lost 24-10 in Iowa City last year.
Yeah, this is definitely a game, you know, regardless of position, regardless of year in school, whatever factors there are. I think this is a game that everybody has circled, especially after the way it went last year. Knowing and understanding, you know, every day in the locker room, we walk past an empty trophy case. So just seeing that every single day brings a lot of excitement to this game for us.
The trophy he's referring to is, of course, the Heartland Trophy, the big brass bull that the teams compete for. To catch this week's edition of the Wisconsin Huddle, tune into Channel 3, 6:30 this Friday. And if you want to watch the show being taped, just head to the Monona Buck and Honey's location next Monday at 6:30.
6 o'clock, I think they've changed it. So you may not expect Amazon's Alexa to weigh in on politics, but she has. The popular voice assistant has been claiming that the 2020 election was stolen. When asked about fraud in the race between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, Alexa said it was, quote, stolen by a massive amount of election fraud. It cited Rumble as its source, which is a YouTube alternative favored by MAGA conservatives. Alexa also said the 2020 race were, quote, notorious for many incidents of irregularities. In that instance, citing Substack, that's a subscription newsletter service. Amazon says Alexa's memory has been corrected. Well, beer is one of the world's most widely consumed beverages.
But as the world gets hotter, it may not taste quite the same. A research group says hops in major beer-producing countries are ripening earlier and producing less since 1994. Scientists wrote that the hops harvest is threatened by global warming. For the IPA lovers of the world out there, that means they're starting to lose that critical bitter component. Researchers say it's only going to get worse. According to the study, scorching temperatures have already shifted the start of the hops growing season by 13 days from 1970 to 2018.
Now, this is getting serious.
Interesting.
This is fetching beer.
Well, yes. Then we'll pay attention.
Another positive day on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials added 134 points. The NASDAQ was up 78, and the S&P 500 added 22. Discover a whole new world at Disney's Aladdin, the hit Broadway musical, opening tonight at the Overture Center.
Among the cast is Colton Bell, who plays Razul, the captain of the Royal Guard. Colton grew up in Beloit, and he joins us now from the lobby of Overture Hall. Hi, Colton.
Hi.
Welcome back to Southern Wisconsin.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
So you just recently joined the show, like last week?
Yes. Last week was my first full week in the show.
And how did that go?
Oh, fantastic. It's a blast. It is just everything you'd expect from a Disney musical and some more. So I'm having a good time.
And tonight is opening night on the Overture stage. What is that like for a hometown kid to go from Beloit to the Broadway stage?
It is the coolest thing ever. I can't believe it. Back in 2013, I first performed at the Overture Hall with the Jerry Awards. So it's sort of as a sophomore in high school. So this is sort of a full circle moment to be back here as a working professional and to be back in Madison and Wisconsin and to sort of show, you know, the fellow Midwest high schoolers that no dream is too big and they could also end up here someday if they work hard, and it feels amazing. I can't believe it.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah, I love that.
What is it about Aladdin that makes this show so special?
Oh, I think how it pays homage to the animated film that we all know and love and has the classic songs that we love, A Whole New World, Friend Like Me, but also the updated version of it that sort of adds new songs that were actually cut from the original movie, as well as some new characters that sort of flesh all the characters out to sort of add more depth and have it relate to a broader audience than just kids. This is a show that is for all ages. You're gonna enjoy it no matter what age you are, and I think that's the best part about it.
And this is a very diverse cast as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's part of it too, to appeal to a wider audience than maybe the original movie did, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think it does an incredible job at sort of bringing all of these different groups of people together. And I think that anybody who comes to see it will see how much fun we're having on stage. And the Disney magic will leave you very, very excited, very excited.
And when you hear that song, A Whole New World,
I
just
love that song.
Chills.
Yeah, it does give you chills. It's true.
Every single night, me too. I'm backstage, and it is just one of those cool moments that, as a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, when I first watched it, you know, you don't dream at that point of, you know, you have no idea what a job is, what, you know, actors are, what all of these things are, and to be working for this incredible company and to be able to hear these amazing tunes that bring me back to, you know, the 90s is just the coolest thing ever.
Congratulations. Welcome back to Madison and the Overture Center. Colton, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Break a leg tonight.
Thank you. Have a good one, y'all.
Happy opening night.
And Aladdin runs through Sunday at Overture. Tickets are available at overture.org. Still to come at 4, we look back at the importance of youth sports from a psychological perspective.
And then coming up next, and then we'll get some thoughts on that from UW distinguished psychologist Shyla Murgain. That's coming up after Jacob's First Warn forecast.
The fresh timer starts the minute a tomato gets picked. That's why at Pick and Save, we shorten the time from harvest to home. So no matter how you shop, you'll have more time to enjoy your fresh produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Ask about 40% off lenses with purchase of frame. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Choose FlexBuy on a new Ford Bronco Sport and get 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $500 FlexBuy cash only at your local Ford dealer.
Herbal Essences is packed with naturally derived plant ingredients you love and none of the stuff you don't. Our sulfate-free collections smell incredible and leave your hair touchably soft and smooth. Herbal Essences.
Did you know sweat from stress is actually smellier than other kinds of sweat? That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It provides 3 times stress sweat protection. Danielle? Secret works.
Fry Construction invites you to usher in the fall season with our exclusive fall sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 4 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board for our fall savings. Save 23% off gutters with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
As a pro, Floor & Decor is my go-to to get it all. Tile, wood, stone, installation materials, tools, they've got it all, and they've got my back.
At Floor & Decor, with pro benefits and services, we've got you covered. Discover Floor & Decor today.
It's never about, in a game of golf, just one thing. In Golf Galaxy, we are your team.
We have the fitting bays, we have TrackMan, we have Biomech putter fitting system. We want to fit you with the right apparel, the right footwear. We have everything that you could possibly need to improve your game.
At Pick and Save, everyone wins when it comes to savings because you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery as you do in store. So no matter how you shop, everyone saves big. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Well, take a look at this. Steve Cooney of Kansas City started his journey across the Kansas and Missouri rivers inside a 1,299-pound pumpkin. He's trying to set the Guinness World Record for the longest paddle in a pumpkin. Cooney said that he grew the pumpkin himself and added a few sandbags on the floor of the pumpkin to keep himself stable. In order to set the record, Cooney needs to travel 38 miles. Over the course of 11 hours, Cooney traveled from Kansas City all the way to Napoleon, Missouri, a distance of 39 miles for a new world record.
That's pretty impressive.
That's here to Beloit.
What is that floating thing in the front? Does that help him change direction?
This was just when he was starting out.
Okay.
So I think that was just to stabilize him.
It's hard to stay upright. Like, he's got a really strong core.
Well, they put the pumpkin in the water to see which way it would end up floating.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because they always have those competitions,
right?
You know, and they all end up in the drink. That's
There's a world record
him.
for everything out there.
Yeah, there is. Yes,
the longest ride in a pumpkin down the river. All right, no weather records being set this weekend or tonight.
No, it will be cold, but it also is going to be pretty rainy before we get to the weekend. I'll talk more detail about that coming up right after the break.
Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Hi, it's Preston from Window World, your locally owned and nationally known remodeler. Experience customer care and appreciation like you deserve with a family-owned small business located right here in Madison.
Let us prove to you that comfort and quality are affordable with any size double-hung window installed starting at $608.
For the best windows, the best install, and the best price, call Window World today.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the two largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
At Revamp, we transform your old beat-up concrete from this to this in one day. We grind down the concrete to open up the pores for a perfect bond. Then we repair all cracks and apply our base coat and chip and seal it with our polyaspartic top coat that will never chip, peel, or discolor. On top of all that, our coatings are ridiculously easy to clean and covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty. And right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating from any of our Revamp brands, you get a $60 Visa gift card, plus either 60% off the installation or 60-month no-interest financing. And when you call during this program, you'll also get up to 10 carbon fiber concrete stitches free, which help reinforce cracks and stop them from spreading. A $350 value for free.
South Central Wisconsin homeowners, pick up the phone. Call 1-800-886-8411. That's 1-800-886-8411.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, here are the 3 things you need to know for the rest of the week. We're still going to see that morning frost really only tomorrow morning. And then by the time we get to Thursday morning, overnight lows aren't going to be cool enough to see the frost. But afternoon highs are going to remain relatively consistent. We will see more highs in the 50s, although tomorrow we actually could get up to the 60s. But in general, we're still going to remain cool. And then that heavy rain potential Thursday through Saturday, but especially on Friday. So we have another frost advisory in effect tonight for south central and southwestern Wisconsin. Areas to the north and east of Madison will see a little bit more cloud cover, and that will kind of diminish the frost possibility for those areas. But especially near Iowa, expect to see a good chance of frost come morning time tomorrow. Here's a look at the low temperatures tonight. 30s for Madison, lower 30s out near Iowa, as some places could definitely drop to freezing. We're going to see a lot of clear skies, but as I mentioned, more cloud cover the further north and east you go, and the cloud cover will help temperatures stay relatively milder during the overnight hours. And as I mentioned, tomorrow we could hit 60. We'll see partly sunny to mostly sunny skies, with temperatures feeling a lot more comfortable. You know, as I mentioned earlier in the show, we've seen so many days now in the 50s that if it warms up a bit, we're starting to get used to these temperatures, that 60 definitely feels a lot better. Now I want to talk about the chance of rain later in the week. So we're not going to see any rain for the next 24 hours. Dry tonight, dry for the most part tomorrow. There will be some rain in the far southern portion of Wisconsin, possibly, but most of that rain tomorrow will likely stay to the south of Wisconsin. But then as we get into Thursday, we'll see more rain move across our area, and it is expected to be pretty scattered. But for Thursday, relatively light, maybe some pockets of heavier rain. But then as we get into Friday, that's when the heavier rain is expected to enter our area. And now this model only ends right here, but I want to talk further about the end of the week. So we're going to see that heavy rain move into our area likely Friday afternoon, whereas Thursday night we'll still see some scattered showers, but it's still expected to be light then. And once it starts raining Friday afternoon, it could possibly rain or continue to rain through Friday night and early Saturday as well, as we'll see that system kind of linger across our area before it finally moves off to the east Saturday night and Sunday. So total precipitation, as I've been talking about, could possibly be over 2 inches. It definitely looks like we are going to see quite a bit of rainfall. Not as heavy on Thursday, with the heaviest occurring on Friday, but the chance of rain is going to be pretty high on Thursday, despite it not being quite as heavy. So heavy rain Friday, and the showers will linger into Saturday as well. 50s for all of next week. Monday is especially looking chilly, with high temperatures in the lower 50s. And then we'll see those overnight lows in the 40s for the end of the week, and could possibly get back to the 30s by the middle of the week. But if we don't get below freezing tonight in Madison, we probably aren't going to see our first freeze for at least another week. And by that point, we'll be a little bit late on that. But in general, we're still going to see high temperatures in the 50s, so the highs will still be below average.
All right. Thank you, Jacob. Well, one of the things we learned from the pandemic is that participation in youth sports help protect kids' mental and physical health.
Youth sports is an ongoing important tool to keeping kids healthy, and it's not just because of physical activity.
UW Health's distinguished psychologist, Shyla Murgain, is here to talk about some of the surprising benefits of youth sports. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
So great to be here.
So what are some of the benefits of this?
So I really want to encourage parents and even grandparents to get kids involved in a variety of sports. We see that there are physical health benefits. For example, kids have better cardiovascular functioning, increased strength and mobility, and also an appropriate weight, in that they are less likely to be overweight. And then there are mental health benefits as well. And I think the research is really striking. We find kids have lower levels of depression and anxiety, increased stress hardiness, less likely to use drugs and alcohol. And one study showed that if you have kids in high school engaged in team sports, those mental health benefits carry over into adulthood, into your 20s. You're feeling less stress and better mental health.
And speaking of adulthood, you learn life skills when you do sports. You learn how to handle disappointment, how to lose, how to win graciously, things like that.
Absolutely. You know, it's really teaching the game of life, that notion of teamwork and leadership and having to learn certain plays and execute things and work towards a common goal. All those things are really life skills that translate not only into life, but also into academics. When we find research shows that kids who are involved in sports are more likely to graduate high school, go into college, and get better grades.
Yeah, you think that their schedules are so tight that they won't have time to study, but actually the reverse is true. The discipline of the routine helps you academically.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The structure and work expands to fill the time available. So if you have less time, you have to hunker down when you get home from practice and study.
I would assume, though, you don't want to force a young person to do something they don't want to do.
I think that's a great point. You know, so expose kids at a young age to a variety of different sports to see what they enjoy. We don't want kids specializing in one sport too young. They'll be at risk for burnout or overuse injuries, but instead a wide, broad variety, and then as kids age, have them specialize.
Well, then they find what their passion is, and then you can focus on that. What are some other considerations, do you think, for parents?
Yeah, I think kids are vulnerable if too much of their identity is their sport. So sometimes parents can get over-involved and put too much pressure and kind of live through their child's performance. So think about a broad-based, kids will thrive. So sports are important, but also have them do other things like a club or a musical instrument and really focus on the fun and the effort versus the outcome. It's less important if they win or lose. They're going to make mistakes. Let's celebrate those, but are they having fun? That's
sometimes the parents seem to be having more fun than the kids are on the field, just from personal experience. But so don't focus on winning necessarily.
No, I mean, it's great if you win, obviously, but that's not the whole point. The whole point is to learn a skill, be around other kids, have that kind of outlet, and learn what it's like to work towards a goal and have that kind of effort and focus there.
How young is too young? Is there ever an age where, because it seems like kids are starting to get competitive younger and younger. Does it matter?
I think starting kids as early as possible. You know, it really builds a mind-body connection. It builds their sense of their physicality. But again, try to really not put the pressure as much as possible. So you can think about when your kid's coming home from a game, say, what did you learn? Did you have fun? What do you feel good about? And celebrate that.
Lots of good stuff. Charlotte, thank you.
It'll be your daughter soon enough.
Soon enough. Looking into it. Swim lessons soon.
Good to see you,
Shyla. Thank you.
Well, coming up next here on Live at 4, how did the sheep cross a road in a weirdly mesmerizing way?
And then coming up next hour at 5, we take a deep dive into test scores in Wisconsin. How is our area doing? Kyle Pazorski reports coming up at 5.
It's our biggest sale of the year.
And you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
And help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Salonpas, makers of powerful pain relief patches for 89 years, believes in continuous improvement, like rounded corners that resist peeling, with an array of active ingredients and sizes to relieve your pain. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there is now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
Precision is very proud of our 5-star reviews. I do everything I can to go above and beyond for repairs. No, I'm not an actor. I'm a garage door tech. That's what I do here at Precision.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
It's our biggest sale of the year.
And you can save big
On quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
New at 5, as information pours in from Israel, we look at what you can trust, how you can find reliable sources, and decide for yourself.
Heavy rain is expected later in the week. It will move in late Wednesday and continue possibly all the way through Saturday. I'll have more details at 5.
Tonight on News 3 Now, new plans for an ice rink are coming to DeForest. I'll show you the early renderings of the design.
Tonight at 6.
Here's a live look at the Western Wall in Israel. Somber sight to see, 65 degrees there. Well, for the next minute or so, don't let anyone pull the wool over your eyes or you'll miss the massive herd of sheep crossing the road.
Jeannie Mose has a bird's eye view.
Don't even try counting sheep. There are too many of them. Swirling beneath the drone, recording them in Othello, Washington. A couple of men on utility vehicles herded the sheep while another guy strung plastic fencing across the highway. How did the sheep cross the road? Following each other like sheep, naturally. It felt like something out of Rawhide.
Rollin', 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 keep them doggies rollin'.
Speeded up, it was weirdly mesmerizing and oddly reminiscent of cow art by a Kansas character who calls himself Farmer Derek. Derek drove around, strategically dropping feed for the cows so that the drone overhead captured them forming a smiley face.
Look at this, it's perfect. Look at it.
Of course, there's always one that sticks out.
Baba Black Sheep.
Only the black sheep of this story was actually a white sheep that stood out by leaping across the road. This sheep has nothing to be sheepish about. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
That is mesmerizing.
It is. It is.
Watch it all day. Well, are you looking to book a COVID vaccine appointment but having a hard time to find one?
Well, you're not alone. It's a supply and demand situation. Is it okay to wait a bit to get one? We'll ask Dr. Jeff Potoff when Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back to Portage Furniture Store, your forever furniture store. Mr. Aaron Ayers, what does that mean?
Welcome back, Emmy. Yes, when we talk about forever furniture, we talk about generation-lasting, heirloom-quality custom furniture. Case in point, we live it every day. My wife and I, we have a chair in our home that my grandfather sold to my wife's grandparents. Generation-lasting, third-generation-lasting furniture.
Long, long before you and Jen had met. That's an incredible story.
We find love at Portage Furniture.
He can promise that right there. And still free delivery, amazing service from your crew.
We talk about it all the time, the best in the business. Bring it in, set it up for you, move it left, move it right. They are the best.
They're going to take care of you. And it looks like the 4th generation, they're just swooping right in. They're making some decisions here, Aaron.
They're trying to kick us out the door as quick as they can. They're anxious and they're ready to go.
Kenley, are you ready to work in the store someday?
Yeah, I was born ready.
That a girl. High five. We've all had those moments in businesses where you see the salesperson come at you and you're like, oh man, I haven't even had a second to look. Except that doesn't happen when you come to Portage Furniture.
That's right. Really, it's a pressure-free environment. Really no pressure at all. We like the customers to be able to get a chance to look around, to really sit down on the furniture, to lay down on the mattresses, to really, again, have the no pressure atmosphere here at the store.
Absolutely. But they also know their stuff. So when you're ready, when you need them, when you have the questions for them, they're going to be here and they're ready to go.
Yeah, that's right. You know, our staff and our salespeople are very well knowledgeable and they know the product and everything too. So any questions, they're here for you.
from the entire Portage Furniture family. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
Hi, it's Preston from Window World, your locally owned and nationally known remodeler. Experience customer care and appreciation like you deserve with a family-owned small business located right here in Madison.
Let us turn your bland entrance into a grand entrance with a top-quality installed entry door.
For the best windows, the best install, and the best price, call Window World today.
From working out to catching up, and of course game night, your home is the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 78 years. And during our 78th anniversary event, carpet installation is just $78. Coyle Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
It's time now for your first warned traffic. There are a few slowdowns on the Beltline, specifically eastbound just before the interstate and also just before the 51. There is a slowdown where speeds are as low as 20 to even below 20 miles per hour at times. There's also a slowdown southbound on the 39. This is just south of 94, but northbound is green in both all the way up north towards the Dells. In terms of the downtown area, not seeing anything too crazy, just a few slowdowns considering the time. So looking at specific times, eastbound Beltline is a bit of a slowdown, mainly for that one stretch right before Interstate 39. Westbound is green both directions. Sun Prairie to downtown is green as well at 18 minutes. So really outside of that slowdown on the eastbound Beltline and the slowdown on the southbound interstate, mostly green across Madison at this hour. And that's your first warned traffic. Back to you guys at the couch.
Jacob, thank you. Robin Sipe of Virginia recently lost a pet, and on a visit to her doctor, Dr. Earl King, Robin opened up about her loss of the little kitty. Her doctor was worried about her well-being, so he decided to write her a prescription for a cat.
Aww.
Robin did just as the doctor ordered, and that same day, Robin met Earlene, a little kitty missing part of a paw, and just like that, they became best friends, just the medicine Robin needed. Well, the demand for the new COVID vaccine in some areas is superseding the supply. Some people are having a hard time finding an appointment to get one.
Today is also World Mental Health Day. It's a day to create awareness and reduce the stigma of mental health.
Here with the latest medical news, UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff. Good to see you.
Hi, Dr. Potoff.
Hey, let's start with COVID. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get an appointment, and when is too late going to be?
Yeah, I don't know that there's ever like a too late, but I would say, unlike before where you could go online and book an appointment for the same day, it takes a little bit of pre-planning. So you have to go and look at, either CVS, Walgreens, or one of the other kind of national pharmacy chains. Starting to see some supply in local health systems, including UW Health. You almost have to plan ahead to be like, okay, like next week, Thursday, I can probably go during this time, and then you get it scheduled. But the supply is not yet caught up, but I think we're getting close. We're starting to see more health systems get this, so we're seeing a little bit less delay. So hopefully in the next week or two, we won't be talking about this as much, but it is tricky right now.
That's encouraging that the supply is easing up a little bit. The supply of flu shots seems to be okay. So should you get your flu shot now while it's available, or should you wait until so you can do both in one appointment?
There's certainly that convenience factor of getting them together, and I think let's say you live somewhere where you have to travel an hour to get your shots and stuff. I don't know that I would have a lot of reservations about just trying to group those together, but let's say you're in Madison where it's really pretty easy to get that. There is no harm in saying, all right, I'm gonna get my flu shot because I've got nothing going on tonight, and then I'll schedule this COVID vaccine for next week when I can get in, when they have an appointment for me. So best case scenario is be vaccinated as soon as you can. You never know when you're going to run into either flu or COVID, but if it's inconvenient, no problem in getting those together.
And just go online every morning and check, and eventually you'll find one.
Exactly.
I got mine out over the weekend, so
there you go.
Good to go. Let's talk about the World Mental Health Day. 150 countries have this day.
Observe
it. Thank you. So how big of a problem? This is a growing problem in the world.
Yeah, I mean, mental health is this huge problem, and I think one of the reasons it's such a huge problem is, unlike other diseases like diabetes or cancer or heart disease, we often think that there's something intrinsically wrong with the person who has a mental health problem versus treating it like a medical condition. So then I feel like you know, people are sometimes ostracized, or, you know, they should be doing something, trying harder. We're not as quick to devote resources to it because we feel like, you know, maybe if they would have made different choices, this wouldn't have happened. We got to get away from that. You know, mental health is a neurochemical problem that folks have, and we should be supporting these folks. I think the thing that makes mental health so difficult is if I've got, you know, diabetes or high blood pressure, I can successfully go to work, I can interact with society, I can kind of do these things and support myself. With mental health, oftentimes I may want to be at work and do these things, but I can't. So now I don't have a job, and now I can't pay for things, and I kind of get left behind. So we need to really invest in mental health care. This country, other countries, understand where these people are coming from, because at the end, I think it makes society all better, not just the people suffering from the disease.
Is it part of a routine physical yet?
I think for a lot of routine physicals, your primary care doctors are going to ask you questions that kind of get at least into the depression side of things. Depression is very widespread, oftentimes fairly easily treated. I think whether you realize it or not, your primary care doctors are asking you questions to try to gauge, are you someone who's depressed or not?
And there's still a stigma for some people that the mental health is a stigma.
I think so, and to the point where folks are hesitant to ask for help because they're worried about what other people are going to think about them. I think we gotta get rid of that, but certainly for your primary care provider or your doctor, we get this. This is a medical condition. If you're having trouble with depression and things like that, bring that to us. We want to help you with that.
And there are a lot of resources now, the 988 Lifeline.
Absolutely.
And all kinds of things that people need to take advantage of. Can I go back to COVID for just a second? Does it matter if you get Moderna or Pfizer anymore?
I'd say no. So earlier on in the pandemic, there was a little bit of a different in, like, let's just say the recipe that they use, and they're targeting similar things, but they're a little bit different. So we talked about, like, should you mix and match and things like that. Now, what they're targeting is exactly the same. So I'd say it matters really not at all whether you get Moderna or Pfizer. Doesn't matter what you've had in the past. Really, whichever one you get an appointment for first is probably the one to get.
You don't even really get a choice now, do you? It's whatever they have?
It depends.
Okay.
And if insurance covers this, but if you don't have insurance, go to public health.
Exactly. So you should still be able to get your vaccine for free. Just takes more work. If you have insurance, make sure it's a network. If you don't, talk to public health. There's ways to get it.
Right. And it didn't hurt at all.
But why does his arm got very warm?
Yeah.
Why did that happen?
It's still warm.
Well,
it is still warm, actually. I can still feel it.
A doctor's explanation is basically your immune system needs to get to that vaccine so it can make an immune response. And to do that, you have to increase blood flow to that area. Blood is coming from your core. It's much warmer. When that gets out in the shoulder, you can feel it. It feels like a hot spot.
Both in one arm. That was
So it's working.
It's working.
It's working.
All right. Doctor,
thank you, Dr. Pothoff.
You bet. Anytime.
All right. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.
Once you pick up an Arby's cheesesteak, it's gonna be tough to set that thing back down. Hey, put it back. The commercial is not over. Arby's, we have the meats.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out, building the highest quality doors in a wide selection of styles. Pick up this half-moon light steel door for $284.99 after rebate. Finish your projects with a foam sealant you can rely on. Loctite expanding spray foam fills, seals, and insulates windows and door jambs without bowing. Right now, pick up Loctite tight window and door foam for just $649 after 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Choose FlexBuy on a new Ford Escape or Explorer and get 2.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $1,000 FlexBuy cash.
As information pours in from Israel, we look at what you can trust, how you can find reliable sources and decide for yourself. Then impartiality questions are raised as Republicans consider impeaching a liberal Supreme Court justice. We delve into the controversy and examine the political ramifications next.
Thursday at 10, you're having a baby and the clock's already ticking. I'm finding out what parents are going through to secure and pay for spots in local daycare.
It just feels impossible, honestly.
News 3 Now is looking into solving the childcare crisis. Thursday at 10.
Here's one final look at your forecast. We're going to see some possible frost during the morning tomorrow, but afternoon tomorrow is going to be pretty nice with highs near 60. And then the rain will move in late Wednesday and Thursday with heavy rain possible Friday, and those showers will continue for Saturday as well. Overnight lows will warm up, but afternoon highs will stay pretty consistent. They may even drop to the lower 50s to begin next work week. And overall, after the rain Saturday, we are looking fairly dry for most of next week as we will continue to see highs in the 50s and lows in the lower 40s.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, fall is officially here, so what should we be doing with our plans? Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company helps us out.
And then Consumer Report shows us the nation's first house dedicated to child safety. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Nobody wants to think about cold weather, but now's the time to winterproof your home. Is your house cold every winter? Your home needs foam. Are your heating costs too high? Your home needs foam. Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Your home needs foam. USA Premium Foam is over 35% more efficient than ordinary, weaker insulation. Winterproof now and get 0% financing for 72 months.
USA Insulation.
He grew up a middle-class kid in a middle-class town. And while Joe Biden's traveled far and wide, Scranton, Pennsylvania has never left him. He knows what life is like for working people and knows middle-class life is too expensive right now. That's why he's passing laws to lower costs, capping insulin at $35 a month for seniors, giving Medicare the power to negotiate with drug companies for lower prices, lowering health insurance premiums for millions, and investing in American-made clean energy to lower power costs for families. For Joe Biden, it's about restoring the sense of security working people deserve. That simple promise, that peace of mind. He's determined to get it back because of where he's from and who he is.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
In today's Final Touch, just in time for Halloween, we have a new Pumpkin King.
And boy, is it a big one.
I'm going to hit the switch right now.
This portly pumpkin is a record setter. It clocked in at 2,749 pounds at the 50th annual Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Weigh-Off in California. It's reportedly a new world record, making it the greatest gourd of all time. That's a fitting considering the grower, Travis Geiner of Minnesota, dubbed it Michael Jordan. Well, it certainly dunked the competition. Geiner and his pumpkin, Michael Jordan, snagged a cool $30,000 for being the best. He's now a 3-time contest winner. He also took the top prize in 2020 and 2022.
Wonder what his secret is. Probably the seeds.
Yeah, I don't.
Congratulations.
I think so. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.